Well, thank you again for joining me for this fourth journey step in our high-tech journey to a LinkedIn world, where today I want to talk about lifting up our eyes to expand our horizon. Back in 1987, I bought my first computer. It was one of those basically museum models as we would refer to them today, with two 5 1/4 inch floppy disk drives. It didn't have a hard disk drive like we have in more modern computers. Now, I bought several programs over the first year or two, but two that I remember particularly was a program that was a relationship database program that I was using to organize some of the various Bible studies that I had written. Now, a relationship database program is something that takes fields, for example, your name, your address, your city, and your state, and your zip code, and you can use that to merge a lot of addresses into what's called a mail merge for writing lots of letters to different people. Well, back in those days, this was brand new, and I was able to use that in working with a not-for-profit organization where by making a couple of changes to the letters with this type of a program, we were able to dramatically increase the number of donations that were received for the projects that we were working on. Another program that I purchased was something called SuperCalc 4. Now, I'm not even sure if it exists anymore, but it came about before Microsoft ever invented the Excel spreadsheet. So it was a spreadsheet that allowed you to do various math calculations, and I was using that for a very elaborate project that I was working on at work. And at the same time, I was helping a young man working on his GED by studying algebra. He was living at the local Wheeler Rescue Mission. And so putting those ideas together, the algebra and the SuperCalc 4 program, I began to see a different way that dramatically increased my efficiency and the scope of the work that I could do. Well, I began to realize that by trying these new technologies, I was truly expanding my horizon in terms of the things that I could see as being possible. It's sort of like if you've ever been in a forest where you've got lots of trees that are in the way. All you can see are the trees that are right around you and maybe the dirt in front of you. But if you can climb up a mountain and be able to get up high, you can see for miles in all directions. And it changes your perspective in terms of your outlook on life and where you're going. Well, I believe that God was using this sort of experience to expand my horizon in terms of my vision of what I could do, in terms of my three goals, especially to make disciples for Jesus, to do something for a living that I enjoy doing, and to leave a legacy for my family. You know, Ephesians 2:10 talks about this. It says, "For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared for us from the foundation of the world." You know, sometimes figuring out what this mission from God thing is all about is kind of hard. But when we lift up our eyes and look on Jesus, we can see that. And so Psalm 121 says, "I lift up my eyes to the mountains. From whence does my help come? My help comes from the Lord." I think God was using this experience of seeing new possibilities and new ways of doing things that I had never thought of to change my outlook on the possibilities of life and what I could do. What about you? Have you ever experienced something that changed the way that you saw your circumstances and allowed you to change your outlook on life? Perhaps today's talk has helped you see how God might be shaping your journey. Perhaps to see how to discover your mission from God. Well, if it has, please take a few moments to share and comment on this Facebook Live post. Now, at the end of this video, I'll take some time to add some comments, including a link to a course that you might find of help pursuing your mission from God. Well, thanks so much for joining me on this journey step today, and be sure to visit my webpage. And one of the things I'm doing now is I'm putting all of these journey steps on wisejargon.com/category/the journey so that you can find all of them very easily. Well, until next time, thanks so much, and God bless.